This is a video to answer evaluation question 3. What have you learned from your audience feedback? I'll start the video by discussing our target audience, which is both primary 15 to 24 year olds and secondary audience of 25 to 40 year olds. And then I'll discuss how we receive feedback, and then I'll do a summary on sample footage 3. Our target audience is split into primary and secondary. The primary target audience is a youth audience, which we've tried to really sort of focus on rebranding our product, because it originally came out in 2001 on the Origin of Symmetry album. Secondary audience of 25 to 40 year olds we thought was an appropriate secondary audience, because that's the one who the song and the album would originally have been aimed at. And also around 35 is also the average age of gaming people for gaming, which is quite a big aspect to our video, and so we thought that was really appropriate. We received feedback in a number of different ways. The main way which we got feedback on our video was in class. So that's sort of 17 to 18 year olds, male and females. So obviously this feedback was coming from people who are doing the same course and obviously are in the same situation then and understand the conventions of at least the music video format, and a lot of them understand the specific conventions of our genre as well, which was very helpful. They're also in the same situation and therefore understand all the problems and issues that you come across in filming and the challenges that filming can pose. We also used Facebook pages to push our work out, and Twitter pages, which for the age range would be similar to the above of 17 or 18, but it'd also be extended a little bit, maybe 16 to 19 or 20. And it gets a wider range of people, so not necessarily media students, which is quite a good balance to get a view from both. And then we also used YouTube, which allows us to get feedback from an international audience, or the potential for an international audience, and it's likely to be seen by fans of the band searching for the video, or similar related searches, which can also be really good, as they're likely to understand our video and give valuable feedback on where the video could go, whether they like it, and because obviously they're likely to fit in with the target audience if they are searching for that kind of video. Now we'll move on to discuss sample footage 3, which was, we showed the rough cut in class, and then we received feedback from fellow class members, and this is what they said. So I will now go through each individual point of feedback that we received for sample footage 3 and discuss how we changed our idea and how we acted upon that feedback. So the first bit of feedback that we received was that our classmates thought that the music video was filmed and edited in such a way that it was more like a film opening, such as last year's Brief, rather than a music video. We agreed with this bit of feedback and decided that we had gone for too much of a linear kind of sequence, even though discontinuity editing is quite a common convention in music video, and this was something that we decided we definitely wanted to change. It was because it made the video so slow, and it wasn't the sort of video that you'd want to go and watch back, and didn't have much replay value. So, and that's what we were going for with the product. So we decided we definitely wanted to try and alter that and speed up the footage, which we did by filming more shots so that we had more variation and a couple of extra scenes. The second bit of feedback was that they thought it was too slow paced and didn't really grab their attention, and this is because they said there was some unnecessary footage that was included that we didn't really need. We're obviously in our primary audience, and they thought a lot of our shots were far too long and needed to be cut down to make it much more fast flowing. And with them being in our target audience, that's the kind of feedback we were really looking for. The pace of the video is quite important, and they felt that it was too slow. Extra shots that we filmed were obviously helped to speed this footage up, and that was the main way that we've tried to alter the video to fit in with that feedback. The scenes that we shot in school didn't they didn't really agree with them as well. They felt that they were quite cheesy and didn't really suit the purpose of our music video. They also stressed that we should move away from like a bullying scenario, because it needed such good quality acting to pull it off. And as we didn't have access to high standard actors, this was going to look quite poor and very tacky. So that feedback really influenced our idea and changed the whole idea to a degree. We kept a similar idea with Amuse Nerd, but we got rid of the bullying aspect and moved more towards an isolation idea, and that's really influenced the whole video. We also got a general feeling that our footage wasn't interesting enough, and they found it quite boring and wouldn't want to watch the video again. So as well as cutting down the shots, we needed more variation in the mise-en-scene to make it more varied, and framing. They said better framing would make the video much more interesting. When the video was stopped during the class after about a minute and a half, we realised that nothing had really happened in the video. It was just sort of like a normal day of his life, but it wasn't interesting at all. So we basically scrapped quite a lot of the idea and really started again with a new idea, which we've taken from the idea of isolation and the gaming aspect to the video. As well as the negative feedback, we did actually also get some positive feedback from this footage. Our classmates liked the time-lapse that we incorporated into our music video. Although they did think it went on far too long, they liked the idea, and that is something that we decided we would carry on with. They also liked the montage of Muse posters that we'd put together, and thought that was something that we could really sort of develop and make more of. Try and make it have more of an impact on the video, and so sort of drag that out a bit, maybe put a bit more emphasis onto it. Our media teacher thought that our panning shot of CD cases could be developed in a different direction, such as zooming in on the CD cases or the magazine covers, and then zooming out to a shot where the Muse Nerd is in a certain situation, and that is something that we carried on right through the project. And from this stage, that was one of our main key ideas, and it's also incorporated into our final footage. Someone also suggested that the video replicated a technique called a day in the life of, which wasn't intended in our original footage here, but we realised it could be an idea that we could try and adapt, and it was something that we looked into, although in the end we moved away from that again. But it was something where we did film with that in mind, taking the audience feedback into account, and it was an idea that we followed up for quite a while before finally moving away from it again. What we did take from the feedback was, although the bullying idea didn't work, the idea of Muse Nerd could, and we moved on to him being isolated and having this ideal world in the game footage, rather than having the bullying from people in the actual real world. So that whole idea came about through this sample footage and the feedback that we received here. From this footage, we decided we'd scrap what we'd filmed so far, although obviously from the positive feedback we received, we did carry on with certain ideas, such as the magazine, such as the posters and the CD cases ideas. So there was positive feedback to come out of this, and we did actually take quite a lot of it on board, and examples of this can be seen in our final footage.